Okay, so hello and welcome, dear viewers. Today we have with us Omkar Kolte, who is placed at LTI for 6.5 LPA. He is working as an advanced associate software engineer. So, Omkar, please introduce yourself.
Good afternoon, everyone. Good evening, everyone. I am placed in Accenture. I'm a final year graduate from Ramrao Institute of Technology, and I'm here to share my thoughts and the process I have gone through for getting into Accenture. Yeah, over to you, Samriti.
Okay. So, what was your preferred language?
I am well versed in C++ and Python, but for Accenture specific, I used Python.
Okay, so now tell me about the process at Accenture.
Okay, so first of all, Accenture came into the campus on, I guess, in the mid of August, and we were given the assessments in September. So there were mainly four stages for the process, starting with the aptitude. First were cognitive and technical questions, 90 questions in 90 minutes. Second round was of coding. We have to solve 42 questions in 45 minutes. After that, after clearing both the rounds, you are only eligible to solve the communication assessment. Communication assessment was more of kind of like you have to give, like it was simply English, like there was questions, English passages, we have to answer them. Maybe we could hear some voices and we could repeat them or maybe answer those voices. This was the communication assessment. After that, it was the final interview, which was a technical interview. Yeah, and after 1 month, I guess in October, we were notified that we are selected or not.
Okay,
Yeah.
so how long did that interview last?
The interview was about to be specific. In my case, it was around 45 minutes, but in general, it was around 30 to 60 minutes. Yeah.
अच्छा और क्या क्या पूछा था उसमें?
um, it was more focused on like management and projects oriented. Like they started with what are the projects you did in your curriculum or academics. After that, they jumped on to like the specifics of the project. Like my project was mostly on machine learning and data science. So they asked me like what is the difference between machine learning, deep learning. Then they dived into some of the basics of computer fundamentals like DBMS and yeah, computer networks and stuff. So that
So
was
you
it.
can say that it.
And
Yeah, go ahead.
yeah, and in the later half of the interview, I guess 10 to 15 minutes, they asked me some HR questions like why you have to choose Accenture, and what are some challenges you have faced in the past, how did you overcome them and stuff like that.
So you can say that it was both skill oriented and project oriented, like the questions.
Yes, it was both, but it was mostly 30 minutes of the interview was mostly focused on the projects, and later half was, so it was majorly on projects. But yeah, skill-based questions was also important according to me.
Okay. How did your internship experiences help you, and what all internships had you done?
Talking about internships, I have two or three internships done. First, I have done HDG internships, which I guess RITians would know about it. Like it is winter and summer internships we do in our college. We take some projects given by our faculty members and do that. After that, I have done persistent internship. Persistent, I've applied off campus to this company and done the internship for 5 months. Uh, persistent internship didn't help me in this process because I have placed in Accenture before this internship of persistent. So it was more of what HDG internships helped me. Those projects really like I showcased them into my resume, and that was seen by the Accenture interview.
So that helped you in the interview process.
Yeah, actually, because in Accenture there are two profiles. One is associate software engineer, and second is advanced associate software engineer. One is of 4.5 lakhs LP, and second is 6.5. So, according to me, in the interview, the differentiating factor for both the roles was how your projects are, and how trending your projects domain is. Like in my case, it was more of machine learning and data science and artificial intelligence. The roles which I'll be working in future, maybe the domains I'll be working in will be in trending, like maybe blockchain or cybersecurity or machine learning or data science. So so they were classified, the interviewers would classify a particular candidate according to both these things, I guess. So if you have done something in machine learning or data science or cybersecurity or trending domain, it will be beneficial, I guess, for getting the advanced associate software role rather than the different. So also not like more common projects like just creating a clone of some application and just showing into your resume, or taking some projects on GitHub and just showcasing in the resume would not help, because the interviewer is also a software engineer. He has gone through this process. He knows how projects like students do. So he just recognizes a particular project. If you have done something like novelty or doing something great, or done specifically solved a particular problem, you've taken into consideration that problem and solved it, it would be beneficial, I guess, to just showcase yourself different from the other interviewers.
Right. So you mentioned about Git and GitHub. So how active were you on that platforms?
Talking about Git and GitHub, I was more into like open code and solving more of open source projects. Like I have been participating into Hacktoberfest. I've tried Google Summer of Code. Then I have other Girl Skip Summer of Codes and different kinds of open source. I was very much active in it, solving machine learning problems and data science. As I said, I'm fascinated about machine learning and things. So I've tried different projects into open source. So my GitHub was very much active. So I don't think that was reflected into my resume, because I have none of my projects were mentioned into my resume, which I've contributed in open source. But I have mentioned it in my resume. So I don't know how much effective was it actually. But I would say, if you're going off campus, applying to different companies, getting referrals from LinkedIn and all, so it might be beneficial if you show that GitHub repository, like it's active, and to the person you're taking referral from, so it would be effective.
Okay, so you have also mentioned Smart India Hackathon. Could you please elaborate on that?
Yes. Recently, when I was in my final year, like I've just graduated, so I just started my final year, the Smart India Hackathons was announced. So I have participated into that with my team, with my teammates, and we have just reached in the final of Smart India Hackathon. So it's a great project. Again, I've taking like it is a serious issue, like it's a problem, and I'm solving towards it. So I think that problem, or the problems like these, like real time problems, are much effective in such interviews.
Okay. You have also done a research internship.
Yes.
So, what field was it in, like the domain?
The domain was machine learning. So it was about the research internship is like just contributing, like doing research and helping the teammates to do research and stuff. So it was basically I've got 10 20 people around below me or with me, and we have to just help them due to a research paper or things like that. Like I have personally done two research papers in my own resume. So I was enthusiastic about like doing a research paper and helping others. So just for that I did that internship.
Okay. Apart from that, you have also gained a management experience.
uh, Actually, the internship role I have got there was of management, but it was not at all a management internship. Like the name is product management intern, but it was not the role which I did there was not at all of management. It was more of like software, like a software engineer or a front end developer does. It was of muquestionpapers.com. So we have got some stuff like question papers or maybe question bank solutions, final year papers, previous year question papers, their solution. So we have to just put it on the muquestionpapers.com website. So that was the only work. So managing that. So yeah.
Okay, so apart from this, is there any more internship like you have done and I have not mentioned it, or you would
Uh,
like something to share about your internship part?
Talking about internships, I feel I was not very much clear about internships. I thought more internships would come into on campus, but it didn't happen. And in the later half of my placement season, I started looking for internships, and luckily I got one. But if I would have tried earlier and started preparing well before, I would have gotten much better internships, or maybe a couple of them more. So yeah, so starting early is also one thing, but knowing and awareness is also one thing. So CodeOS is doing a great thing, I guess, with awareness and stuff.
Okay. Apart from that, you have done a lot in your extracurriculars, like you were part of the different committees like Motive, CSI, and Social Wing. So,
Uh,
how did that like polish you?
Yes, it personally groomed me well. Like the personality skills, the talking skills, communication skills really helped me. Like these all grew up because of those extracurricular activities. Sorry. Because when you go to such committees, you try to communicate with people, you gain confidence, you do something which you haven't done before. You try to do some kind of maybe some events or things. So you gain experience from there. You gain some position of responsibility that shows the interviewer that yes, you are a person who likes to take some responsibility and lead a team or something like that. So it's a more, also it helped me in the interviews, because whichever interviews I have gone through, they have seen those positions of responsibility and asked me like what you have done doing in that role, what is this committee, what you done over there. So I feel somewhat kind of it has helped me in my interviews as well.
Okay, so just an announcement to the audience. If you have any questions, please put it in the chat box. Okay, so did you get like any internship from this?
Accenture.
Huh?
No, there was no internships. It is a direct full-time opportunity.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you got that after 1 month. Like the
Uh,
results
the
came after 1 month, and what about the offer letter? Like,
offer letter came after 1 month of receiving that we are selected. Actually, it was not official till like it was told to us by the placement cell that we have been selected, and offer letters came after 1 month. Like I guess in the end of October or November start. Yeah.
Omkar, you have
Uh,
any questions?
yes, yes. So, do you think the DS is very important for cracking a Accenture, like
Um,
solving liquid problems or a gigs for gigs?
Mm, to be honest, in Accenture, as I mentioned, in the recruitment process, there was one round of coding assessment. So that was the only part where DSA was required. Other than that, I feel in the interviews, no such DSA questions was asked. It was purely like of more of kind of OOPS and these concepts, DBMS and computer networks. So for just clearing the coding assessment, I feel DSA is important. In that as well, I had two questions. I guess both of the questions were of lead code medium level questions. In the I guess the questions were, if I recall, they were about arrays and strings.
Okay, so Girja, Girja has a question. Is it necessary to clear both the coding question in the assessment?
Yes, it is
Uh,
necessary that we clear both the coding questions in the assessment, because I guess both the questions had sectional cutoffs. Like like it was not where you clear both the questions. Like 10 on 10 test cases of both the questions, but at least you have to solve some of the test case in both the coding questions. So yeah, sectional thing was there. So both the coding questions must be solved.
okay.
And the process was online or offline, the interview things?
The interviews were totally virtual.
And what will you suggest for a student they are preparing for Accenture? So as Accenture is coming on campus in RIT, so what will be your suggestions for a students?
For clearing Accenture, I feel uh, like, see, most of the students want to crack Accenture only because of the 6.5 LP. No one wants to get into 4.5. So for getting the 6.5 LP, I prefer that, I suggest that you should mostly focus on your projects first of all, that because clearing those interview rounds is very much necessary. Clearing aptitude and coding questions is much more easier than clearing the interviews. In the interviews, you are mostly grilled on what is your project, how did you do it, how did you tackle the problems, and more such questions. So you must be able to clear those queries of the interviewer first. You have to just gain confidence that to the interviewer that yes, I have solved that problem, I have looked into this question, and I was the one who solved that. No, I have not copied it from somewhere else. So this should be the confidence of yours. Also, starting with the assessment, it is first round is of 90 minutes, 90 questions you have to solve in the aptitude round. So maintaining time management over there is also very much necessary. Since the questions are easy, you might be able to solve it, but it needs practice to solve those questions. So yeah, also do some one or two projects on machine learning or data science or blockchain, or maybe some trending domains, so that the interviewer must know that yes, you are the one who is on with the trend and going with the flow, like doing some trending things.
So according to you, how cloud computing is important for cracking a placement like any like Accenture or any?
Okay, so in any of the product-based or service-based company, cloud computing is really much helpful, because nowadays everyone is every project or thing which is done in the real-time projects or company standards, it is done in cloud computing. I myself have done it using Amazon Web Services and Dockers and all. So these things helps really, because when you are working in any company, you'll be given a specific role or specific projects. So they must these people just want someone who is already adapt to these things, who have already done one or two projects in that. So if you have already done something in that domain, it really much helpful. Like the interviewer is also impressed by you that yes, you have done something in that domain. So it really much help, it is also helpful in in getting the internships as well, because when you get internships, they tend to ask you for pre-placements offer and something like that. So there it also helps.
Okay. So yes. Samriddhi, you can continue.
How many questions had you approximately solved?
For cracking Accenture, I feel I've solved only 100 or 150 medium level lead code problems. Similar, easy to medium level. I hadn't got into much into hard problems till then.
Right. I'll just check the comment section. Okay, so as of now, we don't have any questions. So, to sum up, one of the drawback you find is that you did not find internships early. So, we'll tell the audience that it is very important to actually find internships at an earlier stage. And what
Yes, not
tips would
finding internships at an early age, but actually start preparing for those internships or maybe placements early, so that like there are few of the companies, if I name them, some like mang companies, Microsoft, Amazon, such companies, they
I guess Omkar got disconnected.
yeah, there was some network error, I guess.
Yeah, no problem. Please continue.
Yeah. So for cracking such like big companies, big tech companies, you need there are specific programs of that, like Microsoft Engage, Amazon Wow. So these are the programs which occur in a specific period of time, like in a specific month. So you need to get aware of those months and start preparing early for those, because when you get those opportunity and you couldn't crack it, it's very I guess not yeah, you feel bad for that.
Okay, so Girija is asking, will web development projects be good enough?
Web development projects are good, but you need like something like enthusiastic or maybe great project, or you have shown some um, like how can I say this? Like general projects of software development, just creating a web page is not good enough. Of course, like you creating your personal portfolio is also not good, because it just showcases that you have not addressed a problem, you have not done something, you have not collaborated with anyone else. So it's just not ideal. Maybe doing something like which has like a web project, but it is used by a minimum of 100 or 200 users. If you could do that, like creating like as I said, I have interned at muquestionpapers.com. So that website is used by maybe thousands or million like lakhs of students in the Mumbai University. Like they use it at least during the exams period of time. So this website is used, or maybe tackling a problem, solving a problem. So if such kind of projects is there in your resume, it might be helpful. Yeah.
Right. So you need to be updated as well as you need to keep polishing your skills so that you
Yes,
are ready
exactly.
for the opportunities that come.
Exactly.
And projects should also be good enough. So this is the sum up. Would you like to add anything? Like any few like some tips maybe to face the interviews and all?
um to face interviews, I guess one of the thing I personally do is or the tip I use is I've been told by my seniors that do prepare projects very well before the interviews, because projects are the one thing which is asked by any interviewer. You interview for any of the companies, you are, whether it is a service based or a product based company, your projects will be asked by them. So you prepare those questions well before, like what are the question they'll ask, what is the projects you have done in your academics. So prepare one or two projects well before. Maybe if you could show them in the interview, like share your screen and show them directly what the see, this is the project I've done. Show them the code. This is the code I've done. I've also published it on GitHub. I published it on maybe Netlify or any other domain. So you have done that. So it shows the interviewer that he is not making up things, and he has actually solved a problem. He's actually done a project. So that is a good thing. Also, tackling the problems, like the interviewer asked in the between, what was the specific role you have done in that particular project. Like in our college, it's a group project. So what was the exact thing you have done in that project? Like maybe you have created a front end, you worked on back end, or maybe you have part in the integration, you have yeah, only you have just uploaded it on the domain. So at least some of the things that you personally have done, if you showcase that particular thing to the interviewer, it might be helpful. So the interviewer knows that yeah, he has done his role in that project. Yeah.
Right. So personal contribution is also important.
Yeah, so showing the person, doing a personal contribution is different, and showing the interviewer that yes, I have done this, taking the ownership of that particular thing is important according to me.
Right.
Yeah.
So can you
Also,
help us to
prepare
know?
well before the interviews that yes, I have done these two projects. Like I have done projects on two or three projects. So I prepare one document, like thing. So what is the problem? So how did I solve it? What was the possible outcomes? Like what were the possible solutions for that problem? So yes, why did you choose one particular solution for the problem? Like maybe it's a machine learning problem, so there are different algorithms to solve that particular problem. So why did you choose one particular algorithm to solve that particular problem? So what was the accuracy? So all these things, prepare well before, because if the interview asks you suddenly in the interview and you just keep of thinking it and you throw a particular number in the hayway, and the interview gets to catch it, like yeah, he's faking up things. But
Right.
if you prepare well before the interview, you might come up with a pretty good answer and in a quick manner.
Right. So you said before that there are two offers like 4.5 and 6.5 if I'm not wrong.
Yes.
तो वो किस बेसिस पे डिफरेंशिएट करते हैं लाइक द aptitude and coding rounds or the after the interview round?
It was not told to us that how would they differentiate, but what I have experienced is they differentiate only on the basis of the interview, like how well your interview had gone. Mostly, I feel if someone had just a normal project on web development and stuff, they had got into 4.5 LPA, and if you have done something in machine learning or trending things, you have gotten into 6.5. So I feel also that also one particular thing also could be there, that if you have solved both the coding problems, or maybe a merit list of the assessment could have also been taken into consideration for that thing. So yeah.
सो जैसे टीसीएस
So
में होता है कि पहले ही बता देते हैं कि ये निंजा के लिए या डिजिटल के लिए वैसा देयर वाज नथिंग मेंशन.
no, there was no such thing mentioned earlier. Yeah, it was like after the final selects were came, like the list was announced that these particular students are selected. So there it was mentioned that this particular selected is for this particular role.
Right.
Yeah.
I'll just check the comment section. Okay, one guy is asking opportunity for EXTC students. So, do you think there was any difference, like EXTC
Um,
students here and you are from
no,
CS?
yes, I am from computer engineering, but I don't feel there was any different thing for EXTC. Same thing was asked, like what are the projects, some computer fundamentals things, and coding and all stuff. So there was no such differentiating on the basis of the batches or department. So yeah, I feel, and I have some friends who are from EXTC background and have gotten 6.5 LP in Accenture. So yeah,
So ये fear हटा दो कि हम EXTC से है तो थोड़ा मुश्किल है करके. You just have to study
exactly.
the same things.
Hmm.
Okay, चलेगा. So एंड में कुछ बोल दो दो चार अच्छी चीजें.
Um,
जैसे एक मतलब समरी सॉर्ट ऑफ दे दो.
just जस्ट यही है कि स्टार्टिंग अभी सिर्फ 1-2 महीना है, 1-2 महीना ही हुआ है प्लेसमेंट चालू होके, 2-3 ही कंपनीज हुई है। सो अगर अभी तक नहीं लगा है प्लेसमेंट तो जस्ट डिमोटिवेट मत हो जाना, ट्राई एंड अचीव व्हाट यू एक्सपेक्ट। बिकॉज मेरा भी प्लेसमेंट बहुत एंड में हुआ था, लाइक स्टार्टिंग में आई फील कि यस आई एम capable in getting into the first company I apply to, बट ऐसा नहीं होता है। कभी लक काम नहीं करता है, या things happen and you don't get into whatever company you wish to, but just keep trying and may you get your goal.
You just have to keep trying and everything will fall into place.
Yes, exactly.
Okay. So it was so nice to have you. Thank you so much for coming and helping us.
Yeah, it
Thank
was
you.
a lovely time having this conversation. Thank you.